summertime, it felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you for coming on Everything Sparkle today. It's great to have you.
Good to be here.
So I'm excited because you're actually in my district. You're in the Old Town Clovis. Tell us what you cover.
I cover all of basically Clovis. Everything that was Devin Nunes' original district is the same district that's going for the special election. And then I'm also running again to represent the majority of the district in the new 21st, which is going to be Fresno all the way down to Tulare County, Fresno County, Tulare County.
So how does that work? I mean, I know the sanctions, everything changed this year. Did you know when going into it what you were going to be running?
I did because I didn't enter the election. I filed papers on January 3rd, so I've only been in this since the beginning of January. A lot of people were in the race initially, and then when the maps came out at the end of December, their decisions changed to get out of that race because of just it's a drastic change from what was originally predicted.
Yeah, if you don't know anybody in the area, that's got to be hard. And you're from Tulare. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I graduated Tulare Union High School. I was class of 2001, and then everyone knows September 11th happened. So November 16th, 2001, I enlisted in the Navy, served in the Silent Service, did nuclear power production on a submarine.
Wow.
Got appointment by the Secretary of the Navy to the United States Naval Academy. Was actually injured pretty extensively on a deployment when I was attached to the submarine, which led to my medical retirement. And then I came back to the Central Valley, did some rehabilitation here at the Fresno VA hospital. So a lot of the guys I met in Fresno when I was at Fresno Pacific knew me hobbling around on a cane.
So what year did you go to Pacific?
That was 2007, I believe.
Oh, that was after me. I graduated in 2004, so we just like missed each other.
Yes. Yeah, my brother would have been there, I think, when you were there then. So he was the assistant or the director of admissions, like acting director.
Oh, wow. That's really awesome. So you have a lot of ties all over the Central Valley.
Absolutely. I ended up getting married, and so my wife and their family's been in farming and ag for multi-generational, originally Kingsburg, but Reedley, Sanger. Actually, most of it was out in Sanger area, and then they've kind of expanded out throughout the valley.
That's awesome. So the secret, so what did you do with the FBI? I know you did some stuff there. That sounded really awesome. Tell us a little bit about your work with them.
I'll tell you what I can talk about.
Yes, what you could talk about, of course.
So I went into the FBI, was a special agent, worked in the National Security branch, was assigned to Los Angeles, and I also did some temporary assignments out in DC and some other places. The work I did on the criminal side was more associated with assisting on takedowns for like Mara Salvatrucha, the Sinaloa cartel, drug and gang busts in Southern California, and then also up here in the Central Valley at the Fresno RA. And that's really just a force add because the amount of total agents in the FBI is about the same number of police officers, sworn officers, and LAPD. It's a very small organization. So when we end up doing work, we'll support each other's investigations.
Wow, that's a lot. Was that scary being that involved in dealing with all these gangs?
There was a little bit of, butterflies in the stomach when you're stacked outside a house getting ready to knock a door down and go inside. But as soon as you get through the door, your training takes over, which is a little bit different than media interviews like this or public speaking. The butterflies kind of stay with you through the whole process. So it's a little bit just different. I think when you train for something and do it with a lot of repetition, you end up getting used to it. But there's still a little bit of a healthy fear that you get.
So what do you do currently after all of these great experiences? You've traveled around the world. What do you do right now?
So I own a aviation business. After I left the bureau, I took over as CEO of a global international ultra luxury charter company. And do you remember like the Mayweather-McGregor fight?
Oh yeah.
So the company was the sponsor for that on the aviation side. So Mayweather, McGregor were the ones flying around in the Bombardier jets. So we catered to the ultra high net worth and management of some specific and select clients. I restructured that company, started another company in the aviation space, and worked with a few other companies in that private equity. And then I've kind of moved over into looking at future flight for alternative and sustainable fuels. So like sustainable aviation fuel or electric aviation with using hydrogen to power airplanes.
So where do you see the future headed with that?
I see globally there is a push for utilizing and being more responsible with all of our resources. So sustainable aviation fuel is a huge push, and actually a lot of the business aviation community is at the leading edge for a lot of these technologies. I see typical jet engine aircraft still flying on the long hauls, but we're going to start seeing eVTOL, which is electric vertical and takeoff flights. So short flights like you'd get in Uber, but with electrical flight.
So does that mean that it has endless time to go around? I mean, when do you have to recharge?
So with a short eVTOL, you'll be probably flying, if you're familiar, as you are with Los Angeles, you could take a hop from, say, Encino to Beverly Hills.
Right.
And then you'd have the aircraft recharged, or from Westwood straight to LAX or Van Nuys to get on a plane and fly out. Those shorter, the other distance would be a little over medium range, so you're flying from LAX to Fresno, and that could be on a hydrogen-powered electric airplane. But the long flights that are going across oceans across the country from Fresno to New York or Fresno to Hawaii, those are going to be, I would say, for quite a while, more typical jet fuel. But that's when you end up utilizing like a sustainable fuel that's used from right here in the valley. There's a great company called Waste Fuel that's taking cow manure and converting it into jet fuel.
I always knew that was going to be useful one day.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Is that going to save us money when can we just start flying from Fresno to Vegas pretty cheap because we're going to have that way to go?
Not with the fuel as it sits now. If there's more legislation passed to
No,
support...
I'm saying if we do what you are
Oh,
intending.
if we do,
yeah,
absolutely. There's a lot of ways to utilize flight and aircraft more efficiently, even smaller aircraft. Where you're able to fly these flights ad hoc, which means when you need them, not on a standard schedule. So
this is all really interesting. You bring so much to the table. Tell us a little bit, with all these experiences, what you plan to do if elected.
So on the special election, I plan on dealing a lot with our constituent services. So when I got injured in the military, I actually worked with Devin Nunes' office on appealing my retirement. I got medically retired from the DoD, and I did not want to be medically retired. I wanted to prove to them I was fit and able to go back into service.
That has to be so hard to deal with.
It was, you never want to leave the fight not on your own terms. So yeah, it was a big challenge for me. I fortunately had a lot of support from some of my classmates from the academy and my classmates' families. And so I ended up working really hard, being found fit to return to active service, and then ultimately that's how my career moved forward. But having constituent services is a huge part. If I didn't have access directly to my congressman, it would have been much more difficult to have that path to appeal those decisions. And that's something that I'm pledging for our valley, and specifically with the special election. I'm running in the district again. So in the general election at the end of the year, the offices that Devin had opened in Visalia are still going to be in the district I'm running for come November, and I will still have the same offices open. So that's kind of my plan and my strategy is, how do I continue to support our valley after it's gotten gerrymandered? All the other candidates in the race, not one person who votes for them in this special election is going to have the opportunity to vote for them in the next office they run in. It's which is really confusing.
That's a really unique opportunity, actually. What does Devin Nunes think of you?
I think he is, well, I've actually met and known Devin Nunes since 1998. when we went to the same high school. He's nine.
Wow, really?
He's 9 years older than me, but from Tulare Union, volunteered and supported his first campaign that he did, and I've interacted with him quite a bit. I've introduced him at a few different events, and even when I was in the government, interacted with him. So
you have his support.
he is not endorsing or supporting anyone publicly right now, and we have a lot of great candidates in the race. But right now, he's focused on his work at Truth Social, the new Trump media social company.
Do you have any support that you could tell us about? Anybody that's in a current position that you have their support?
Madera County GOP came out and publicly endorsed me. I have the National Republican Hispanic Association that came out and endorsed me. Andy Vidak, who was a state senator and congressional candidate against Jim Costa, has endorsed me. And there's been a lot of other people that have come out and endorsed me, but I'm not running a race based on the names of people that have supported me. It's not about Michael Maher candidate. It is about our valley and about actually dealing with a lot of the issues that our leaders have not been dealing with.
Name some.
Mandates, for one. School choice. What's going on with our students and children in schools is absolutely atrocious. The amount of damage that has been affecting our community and our families that it's not even being discussed. The amount of domestic abuse that has increased, just what has affected our families has been, we don't even know the full extent of it. The challenges for young kids who have not seen their classmates without a mask, who started from kindergarten, the learning impediments, the speech issues. It's absolutely incredible if you talk with our educators, and they don't know what to do. Some of them are talking about lowering the standards so it doesn't appear that there's an issue, but there really is.
How do you plan to handle this? Because this is a unique situation. No one has ever dealt with this before. So what are some of the strategies you have to deal with this?
So that's the interesting thing of being a federal office, and some of these are state issues. The only thing I can do at the state level is voice it and use the platform that I'll be given in that position as a congressman, but federally be against a lot of the mandates. The CDC, the NIH, all of these organizations have allowed themselves to be used as disinformation through a lot of different outlets. What Fauci has done from day one to now, he appeared as a credible person who was talking about following the science, that we need to do these things to slow the spread. It's been over 2 years, and it seems like nothing is changing. And so what we would do federally is we control the purse, and that's the money. Bringing out legislation to end some of these things, and also speaking out publicly is really the best thing that you can do, especially in the short time for the special election. Is just being accessible and speaking the truth.
What do you think about our current situation and the war that we're facing, and what role do you think the U.S. should play in it?
The situation over in Ukraine? Yeah, that's a challenging situation. And if people are so quick to share, again, we're talking about false narratives and disinformation, video games that are being shown as accurate. People need to look back at the history, look back to 2014, look back even to the history that was in Ukraine, that was over in Moldova, what's going on in those areas of the world. It's not a surprise that this was happening. I mean, a lot of people knew these things were coming. What I want to be clear, though, is the people in Ukraine have shown tremendous fortitude and courage in standing up, and also making the light back to what's going on, where the government is handing out weapons for the Ukrainian citizens to defend themselves against the Russian aggressors. That is what's incredible about our country. The Second Amendment, we have the right to bear arms, to stand a free militia. Why do we have that? Exactly for what's going on in Ukraine. If you had weapons and the ability to be trained on them and operate, you would have exactly what we have here in the United States. And so there's a lot of lessons that can be learned over there. That's why we have the Constitution and the amendments and the rights that we have here in the United States.
What role do you think the U.S. should play in it? And how can we help these people? Should we help these people? And what do you think about Putin's threat of nuclear power?
I don't know if it's actually utilizing nuclear forces. He put them on high alert to escalate that situation. And what role the United States plays is they are moving forward with economic sanctions. It gets to the question of, do we do and deploy our forces to support Ukraine? Does Ukraine even want our support and forces? And what they want is funds, ammunition, the ability to defend themselves. And so some of the technologies that we have, some of the weapons systems that we have could have been pre-deployed or supported with our NATO allies to defend Ukraine, so it wouldn't be the situation it's in. But it's a challenging, not a chess game, because it's not a game. It's a challenging situation, and we do need to be supporting people with what's best in their interests, not in our political interests for those people.
That's really impressive to think all this. And how do you think like your training prepared you for all of this and with the military? Because you've gotten to see different sides. I mean, you've gotten to see how it works in a military stance. You actually worked for the FBI. How do you think all of this will play into the challenges that you face?
Well, there's a role for all of these different experiences that I've had as a man in uniform, and then as a person working in national security issues, working with a lot of our intelligence partners, and understanding foreign policy and the implications. I think it's going to make me, and it has made me, more cautious in choosing my words on how to respond, because there is a level of diplomacy. The only reason we go to war is because we have failed diplomacy and failed leaders. And that's what we're seeing right now as failed leadership in the United States, failed leadership on the international stage, which has allowed Russia to have the confidence that they can go in unopposed. And they're doing that. The amount of dependence that we have, this gets into energy and monetary systems. And so there's also an economic issue in reality that's being really discussed and at play here. So it's kind of for a quick interview to address all the areas.
I know.
It's a challenge, but I will say the military background, the government background, and my business background give me a unique perspective into all of these regions, and it allows me the ability to be patient, to be thoughtful, but also to be very decisive when it's my turn to make that decision.
And you brought some very good points about aviation fuels. What about our regular fuel? Because I think all of our minds are blown about how much gas prices are going to go up. What's your solution for that?
So that is the biggest lie I think that we've seen in the United States, and also with inexperienced politicians. They don't believe we can continue to do the Keystone Pipeline. All of these great things, we have natural energy reserves and resources here in the United States. There's no reason why we cannot turn on the spigots for oil production here in the United States.
So we're not utilizing what we have.
We're absolutely not utilizing what we've had. Our dependence on Russia crude and oil has doubled under this administration. All of these issues are absolutely incomprehensible that we are in this situation. The last administration did a great job at dropping energy prices and actually challenging OPEC and the different gas. I mean, look what they were even doing to Russia, not approving the pipelines. And then the new administration does approve the pipeline for Russia. Europe is dependent on Russian oil for their energy. This is a geopolitical economic game that is being played by people who are not paying attention to the consequences that they have on real humans and the real citizens in the country. We can have sustainable aviation fuel, we can have electric cars, and we can also have cheap gasoline so our farmers aren't having to pay through their nose on keeping their tractors fueled. Our truckers are not having to pay through the nose to just haul
Right.
our freight. All of these things have trickled down in consequences. Our food costs more because it costs more to transport it. When the food costs more, everything else costs more. And so all we can do is actually take back the House with a full Republican red wave that's going to happen, and then start putting forward thoughtful, mindful legislation to correct some of these just atrocities that have been done by incompetent people.
And lastly, I work for 2 small businesses in Clovis, right in the area that you're going for. What are some things you're going to do to help the small businesses? Because that's what most of Old Town Clovis is all about, small family businesses.
So what I can do, again, I don't want to overplay what I can do in a federal office.
What would you like to see happen?
I'd love to see massive decrease in regulation, cutting back bureaucracy.
So that would help a lot.
That would help. I mean, look at how much is going on with a small business tax, payroll taxes, every type of tax that happens to a small business. And then we add the increased tax, which is inflation. Inflation is a tax against all of our small businesses. Your products cost more. And then we also have larger corporations that are coming in and trying to undercut our small businesses. It is making it almost impossible for most of these small businesses to continue to function. And then we add all of these additional regulations, mask mandates, and even eliminating the amount of people that can come into your business.
Right, that's a big one.
How can you survive? People want to work, people want to be entrepreneurial, and we need to give them that opportunity and really take the muzzles off with the masks and take off the handcuffs, which is affecting our small business.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. I want to know where we can look at what you have going on, if you're really active on social, and if we want to donate to your campaign, where we go for that.
Thank you. Donations are always very much appreciated. We have my website is just Michael, MichaelMaher.com, michaelmaher.com. And then on the website has all my social media accounts. So I'm trying to be active on Instagram.
And you tell us where you're going to be in advance so we can go see and ask questions if we want to, if we can.
We'll do posts, and posts are on our social media that show the events that we're going to speak at. Again, I'm even doing an event in a few hours, so looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of that to come here. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on Everything Sparkle today. I'm so excited to have you guys. And you and I have been keeping up with each other for a while. So
Yes, we
explain to
have.
our audience what you do.
I have an inspiration page. It's called Nika's Inspiration. I created it it's been like 2 years ago. I did it. I was at one of my low moments 2 years ago. So
What happened that you could share?
yeah, I was just sitting on the couch and a lot of things was going on in my life. And I was talking to my son Marcus. I said, I should make an inspiration page. And he said, Mom, do it. And to start stuff like that, it's hard because you don't know how many people you're gonna get in your group. You don't know if people are gonna respond to your messages you send them and far as networking and everything. And so we started off with like 54 members, and every day I would like network. I would get friends of friends. Then they'll tell their friends about the group, and it just start building and building and building and building.
And you've been inspiring people, I mean, kind of like all over the country, but a lot of people in California. So tell us some of the feedback you've been getting with this.
I have a lot of people, like I said, in Bakersfield, California. I have Houston, Texas. I have Columbia. I have Visalia. I have Tulare. I get a lot of inboxes at night, people saying that they enjoy my group. They're glad that they're a part of it. They enjoy the quotes. And one lady, she texted me and she said, basically, she was at a low time in her life. And by me making her, she's my moderator, making her my moderator to my group, it brought her back. You know, it made her feel good about herself. So that right there is just, it touches me just to be, it's priceless. You
So
know?
how has your life kind of shifted? Because you're not at a low point anymore and you're thriving. Tell us a little bit about how that started to shift.
It started to shift as I just started realizing that things happen. It's life. You go through life. You have to just go through what you go through. You have to just move on. I took my day by day. I'd wake up, and my group is like a newspaper. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I gotta see what's going on. You know, how many people I got. Oh, wow.
There's so much going on.
And then this COVID and all this things going on around the world. Inspiration is what people need. You know, it's easy to be nice to somebody. It's easy to tell somebody it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? You'll make it. You know, I've been there, I know. So that's why I know how to feed back to my inspiration family.
And so introduce your children and how has the group helped you and what have you seen in her, like the changes?
Well, my name is Shai. I'm her daughter. I feel like this group has made her become more positive within herself and also make her happy because once she's on there and she gets the feedback from our supporters, she's excited. So I feel like this is something that she's used to doing and something she's comfortable to do, which is something that everyone would want to, do. And I feel mainly that the feedback that we get, it's nothing but positivity. People come on there to just basically get a word from the day. And I feel like my mom, she's a person that's good at doing that.
Does she lift you up when you're down?
Yeah, always. So I feel like everything that she tells me, she tells everybody, and it just helps everyone.
What do you want to add to that, Marcus?
Well, I'm the one that will inspire her and encourage her to actually do the group. So I mean, she just basically took foot and just kept going with it and kept continuing on. She wasn't really comfortable with her live videos at first. So after she got comfortable doing her prizes and stuff she give to her the people in the group, she'll go live. And her first live, she wasn't so comfortable with it. I could see.
Did you guys help her with the electronic? I mean, we can be real. We're older. We're not as good as it they are. Right. So it's like you guys had to help her get
with the group.
Yeah. But she was after one live, she was good on her own. I feel like those lives brought out her confidence, so it made her want to keep doing it when she got the positive feedback from all of them.
Yeah, what I did is I kind of I'll post a post, then I'll replay it back, and I'll critique myself and see, I'll rewind to see what I need to work on versus what I said wrong and versus how to basically make it come out a little bit more better next time. So each live, it got better and better and better and better. I still have little times where I play my little jazz music, in the background, have a little, tone in the background, and then just to get that mood, and then after that, now I'm just go.
So I'm curious, who inspires you?
My children. My children really do. My children inspire me because I feel without them, I wouldn't have reasons to do certain things versus if you were just single with no kids. You know what I mean? And each one of them have their own personality. I have 3 boys and a daughter. They have their own personality. They're all each individual people. And so I got 4 different personalities in the house, plus mine. So it's like, okay, well, hold on a minute.
Do something new every day.
Calm down. 10, 9, count backwards. And then, yeah. They know when I go in that room and close it, they'll leave her alone for a little while.
So what do you guys want to do? Tell us some of your passions and what industry you want to go into.
I would say I want to start my own clothing business, something with my own brand.
You're very fashionable. I noticed that right away.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to, be my own boss. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working for people, but I feel like everyone would be comfortable working for themselves. So I think that's something I'm trying to strive for. It would mainly be for like clothes and something like that as an online business. And yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Marcus?
Well, I'm really good with technology, so I'm trying to be like a computer lab person or something like that actually creates like movie scenes and like animated scenes and stuff like that. Basically, like for little skits and stuff
That'd
like
be
that
awesome.
for video games,
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his PC at home and he's just like this. He's real good at it too. Real good.
So that's really interesting. You started this kind of like at the onset of COVID. You started the group
Right.
and everything. So that was a low time for everybody.
Right.
So what was some of like the feedback you got, and like how did it affect you guys? Were you guys out of school? Are you guys masked up now? Tell us about it. I don't know what's going on in Bakersfield with COVID.
Well, with Bakersfield, they have a lot of more stricter rules than as we see here. All of my kids they're out of school right now, but
so it's all virtual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
No,
yeah,
we're all
they're back in school. Yeah, they're back in
graduated.
school.
We're all graduated from school. But when it comes to the COVID and the feedback that we got, it would basically just be like, thank you for posting this and amen. And I can't wait to see what you post. And they mainly get excited for the activities that we do on there because we do raffles and stuff. So I feel like that's like a thing that makes us all come together as one and to just have fun.
So who comes up with the raffles?
My mom.
Really?
Yeah.
I come up with them, and I have I assign like 6 moderators. I have 6 moderators to my group that's like helpers, and I also have group experts. So group experts is first. Basically, their comment, they're like more into the group. Then my moderators, like this, I've been in my downtime. They can come on and put like their post. They can do the raffles. We had a February raffle just recently, and I had 4 contestants. Basically, I was going to get 4 winners. And so what I did is I picked 4 celebrities that are my inspiration. I picked The Rock, Denzel Washington, Taraji Henson, and Sandra Bullock.
Great choices.
They are my 4 top. If you read it inside of them, they have a lot of inspirational behind them. So I picked them for a reason. Yeah, a lot behind them, especially Sandra Bullock. She is amazing. She has a lot of inspirational behind her. Yeah.
So what about you guys? Who do you pick as your inspiration, celeb inspirations?
Like far as celebrities,
Yeah.
I'd say first one gonna be Post Malone. Second one is gonna be Nipsey Hussle. I mean, rest in peace. My third one gonna be Tupac, rest in peace. And then the fourth one, I wouldn't say she inspiration. I'd say Rihanna, because that's just
Just because she's hot.
Yeah.
That's Rihanna. You love Rihanna.
I don't really know as in when it comes to celebrities. I would say my mom would be the first person because she's been through everything, and like knowing that she's been through so much like negative things and she can still come out and want to inspire someone else just shows how strong she is. So I would say mainly her. And if I were to pick a celebrity, it would probably be Lauren London.
Oh.
Just because she's, she's classy. You don't really see her in things as most celebrities. So yeah, I feel like it would be her.
And it's weird. I mean, how do you feel when you go into it? Because sometimes it's like, I think we both have a similar vision of what we want to do, leaving a legacy, trying to, inspire people. But then sometimes they're like, well, I'm just so-and-so from here, who am I? Like, what's the internal struggle you go through sometimes when you're trying to figure stuff out? I know you push through it.
I think just getting my my inspiration members to be more engaged as far as like, they do send a friend to the group, but more engaged like I am. But I think because it's my group, I can't expect that. Like, just say if I want to take a day or two off or whatever, I can't expect them to do what I do because this is my page. You know what I mean? They're just my helpers. But I have some good group experts. I have a lot of good moderators, and so I think they, as we go on, and they get more chances to do and explore their talents as well, because I let them do, like this month, March, they're coming up with a March raffle where she has a symbol of a rose, and whoever picks the most positive quote to it, they win. And
I love that. That's so
I
smart.
send e-gifts to them, Subway, through email. This that fast.
That is so nice.
Yeah, so I love it. It's fun.
And so as far as advice goes, are you planning on kind of having an advice section? And what's some of the advice that you've given to people on the group?
Just basically, don't take life too seriously. Always know that tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is a new day. I mean, if you just got to get through it, go to sleep. And when you get up in the morning, God gives you strength to get up. Just try to start all over again.
Do people ask for advice in the group? Are they like, I have this problem, I need to work out?
Yeah, what I do is I don't really say names.
You don't have to. I just wondering if there was like an incident, like if someone's like, I have this, I'm struggling with this.
Yeah, I get messages a lot as far as people saying what they need or what they're going through or whatever. And sometimes I share with my kids, sometimes I don't. I just keep it to myself. I never, get names or nothing.
So they don't really put it publicly out there. It's more of a DM.
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of like, I kind of trust her a little bit. I'm going to tell her a little bit to see, you know what I mean? And then I'll listen. And then the next day, because I network all night to come up with different things. I put TikTok motivation things and all that. And whatever they said to me, I'll put it on, because I schedule my post. And I'll put it on there. And they'll like it. And I say, okay. That's letting me know that she heard what I said. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that means a lot to people.
Yeah, we get a lot of, when it comes to the feedback, we get a lot of testimonies a lot. We have a lot of people talking about what they go through and how my mom's page has helped them get back into, the light. So that's a lot of things that we've seen. And when it comes to people asking us for stuff, sometimes they do, but our page is actually it's an inspiration plus giving back. So it isn't like
that's what I love about it. And I've never seen a page this interactive where you give back, and that's coming out of you, and that's so sweet.
Yeah, and
it's like God's work for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's out of my own. That's why I said this page is not for donations. Do not, if you come on there with donations, I don't play it.
Yeah, because it's not take.
It comes out of my pocket. Yeah. And I feel good that, okay. And then it's more, gets them more like, okay, I can't believe she's just doing this out of kindness.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? People, it's okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's so awesome. What about you guys? Are you guys ever going to start your own page of any kind or branch off this, or one for younger people?
Honestly, probably not. It probably wouldn't be, similar to my mom's, but it would probably, like I said, with my clothing brand, I would probably have positive quotes on there, and I would for sure have something relating to my mom's thing on there, Nigga Inspiration, just for her members.
Or it could be body image positivity.
Yeah.
Brand. Like I said, not the same thing, but a little bit, but a branch. I could see you doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some things like that.
What about you, Marcus?
Like far as what?
Having your own page for stuff. So you said you're into video production, stuff like that. Would you ever want to have an inspirational video production page where you guys give tips and stuff like that?
Yeah, but if anything, I'll just try to create a game or something like that. I mean, not really a website. I mean, I have everybody main attention on the game that I create. Like I said, I'm into computers, so if anything, I need to get in a little technology class or something like that, so it can get me started on stuff like that. If that's what I'm gonna be trying to do, because that's what I'm into.
I love this. This is awesome. So tell everybody the name of the group.
It's called Nika's Inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can join?
Yeah.
It's private. That's the good part.
Private.
The reason why I made it a private group is because public, sometimes you get people to make fake pages.
That's that's so big right now.
Right. It's mutual. No.
Did you guys kind of learn how to shout her out on the side for this? It's oh gosh, it's so scary.
Right. It's are you serious? And we get one of our moderators the other day got an inbox from a girl trying to do that, that cash app stuff where they see
Oh, it's gotten
"Oh,
so out of
that's
control.
out of control." And so she told her, she said, "This page is not, that's inappropriate, and we don't do that on this page." So she DM'd me, so I went over there, blocked her. You don't do that. You're not gonna get to that members of my family. So you're not gonna come on here new and try to damage the whole process though.
Right.
So
You guys can all try to get on her page if you want to, and then DM and then say how you saw her on this show. So they're not. No one thinks it's a fake profile. You know,
Oh,
if they say
yeah.
that they saw you on Everything Sparkle. That's and then
and I love this show. I've been networking with her for a while. She's awesome.
I love the page. I think it's so great, inspirational, and it's so how you give out of your own pocket and do
Right.
all these things and motivating. It motivates me, so I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for coming on my show. We gotta follow
No
what you guys are
problem.
doing, and then Instagrams. You guys have, and you kids have some.
Instagram, Gano_YP. That's it.
And mine would be official.shy and then underscore. That's it.
And you're not on.
Yeah, not yet.
You're already busy with your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm busy, yeah.
Well, let me spell it CANO_YP.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think for the last thing, the main advice that I would give out to everybody is that at the end of the day, you control your emotions. So if someone comes to be negative to you, just think to yourself, that's how they're feeling. And if they want to be like that, then let them be like that. But don't let
It's
you
not
be like
you.
that.
It's not.
Exactly.
Don't internalize somebody's
Exactly.
bad day into
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
That is such good advice, and it's so important to remind yourself.
Yeah, because the world is really negative, so it can get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so well said. Thank you guys so much for coming on my show. I feel
No
so much
problem.
better already.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one. I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one. Rhymes are like a pistol, I keep bullets by the fistful. Inside your ear, cerebellum, it gets ripped in two. Think I'm playing, see me slaying, vocal funk fifth. A go-getter, I'ma ice you on a cold script. Think you a genius, motherfucker, y'all don't know shit. There's killers everywhere, so close your eyes at your own risk. Lo and behold, she moans when it's deep low. Please tell your bitch, keep on pushing on skeet hoes. Loot hungry, all I'm keeping is that G code. If I get smoked, I guess it's time for GOD's home. Until that time, I live my life like it's my last day. Get high switch and blow it all off in one day. I was a king doing prison time, the song say. But the public wanted me miserable, the bloggers say misery was company. They won't be happy till I'm Swayze. I'm telling you now, the streets raised me. I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one. I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one.
I felt like a first round draft pick, ended up being the last pick. If the last should be first, then the first should be lasting. Kept grinding, steadily elevated to the top. But I persevered through half of you average dudes with a stop. I stood on my 10 toes, the other half of y'all would have dropped. Friends of distinction, going in circles, hands on the clock. Round and round I go, that ought to humble you. If you brittle, the pressure will crumble you little by little, and it will become to you. Don't be complacent and don't get too comfortable. That's a gym for you. Build your strength, that's a gym for you. Build your faith, that's a hymn for you. Ain't none of your friends going down with the ship, they ain't willing to swim for you. No better or worse for rich or poor through thick or for thin for you. Everybody related to you ain't family, but that's your kin for you. I'ma keep it a buck, no fantasy, make believe or pretend for you. Never give up, cause right at the end, that's when it begins for you. It's the game of life, and you the only one that's gonna win for you.
I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one. I keep on grinding cause I won't stop. I keep on rhyming cause I can't quit. There ain't no quitting when there's people depending on you to win. Get the bag and the crown, feel like the chosen one.
Thanks for coming back to Everything Sparkle, Michael. I love this video, and I am so glad that you want to drop it here and nowhere else. When is this dropping officially?
So March 5th, you can get the music video and my album both drop on the same day. This is one of my hardest working videos that I've ever put together yet. So we got 88 Drums, which is my producer on the beat, Teamy Visions on the video itself, and of course the living legend X-Rated. You know, so that's my boy, that's my big brother, and I'm excited about it. I'm glad everybody's gonna really enjoy this one.
And it took you 2 years to make this album. Why? Tell us about that process.
I'm very picky with my own personal creative process. So I wrote a lot of songs, and then I only picked 8. And then I also only picked a very specific 2 songs that I'm gonna do videos for. One of them we just showed you.
Was it hard to make the cut? Like when you're, because it's all your babies. Each song is. So was it hard to be like, nah, I wanted this one, but now I don't want it anymore? How was that process?
Not really, because normally when I'm writing, you could just feel that it's going to be something really special. But then sometimes you write certain songs, and then the feature doesn't complete his portion of it, or it just never maybe the energy with the artist you were working with got thrown off before the album was done. So all kinds of things go into what makes the final cut in the end. With what songs we pick. So.
And you've had kind of like a rough upbringing. Do we see some of that in this album? Like, what are some of your actual real life experiences that we get to hear about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like from start to finish, I got Fashawn on the first track that opens up with Street Mentality. So it's basically everybody that I look up to in the city that I'm working with. I got my whole team on the final song, which is RV Empire, and everybody there is my family too. So everything is it's a story from start to finish, and I talk about a lot more. Just like my first album, Long Road Home, in this one I talk about personal experiences too. So it's all about everything that I do, that I try to portray to people, is about choices and learning how to elevate, and it's always a reflection in my music when I'm pushing it. So.
Well, I'm really excited for it. If you had to narrow it down to your favorite one, what would be your favorite? That's gotta be a hard call, I know.
My favorite song on this whole album, that is really hard, but
I know that's impossible.
There's really probably 2 of them are in the end. Broken Love is one of them, and RV Empire. That's the second one that I really love. I don't know, it's probably 3 because, Chosen Few, the music video and the song itself, they're both on the album. And Chosen Few is a song that I wrote literally, thinking about there's only a certain amount of us that actually work hard to reach our success, right? So many people usually try and then they give up for whatever reasons to get there. Maybe they become content with other things in life. But I feel like there's a chosen few that will actually reach the best version of themselves, and and like really excel with what our gifts are. So, and that's what the whole point of that song is. It's basically is in those moments where we feel like stopping, we can't stop because we have too many people depending on us. So, and that's what fuels me.
That what you tell the children? Because I know you've been doing a lot of work, a lot of stuff with kids. What do you tell them when they come up and they feel really hopeless?
It's really hard because each kid's different. I mean, each kid's basically the same. I look at them and it's like I'm talking to myself. They're all kids that grew up without their dads. And maybe their moms are dysfunctional. Or maybe they have their mother and father, but they're just not great at taking care of their kids or something. But I look at them and I tell them all the time, you have to pick better role models. When I was growing up, I always picked, the guy that was on the streets that had the nice car and had a lot of money. And then when I learned how he got it the easy way. And it took me years to realize that if I'm going to get it the right way, it means I had to work for it and earn it. So, like we talked about before, get my college degree, going back to college, get my engineering certification so that I can open my own business, so that I can start putting on the next generation, really, because I'm at a point in my life where I'm just an entrepreneur, enjoying what I'm doing and building a business. But at the same token, I want them to have something way, way more faster than I did. That's my goal.
That is so awesome. I'm so excited about this. And thank you again so much for debuting this on my show. I feel so honored.
Well, thank you for having me and thank you for having us. And really, we love coming on here. It's always a blessing to be here.
We love having you. Thanks for coming on Everything Sparkle. So I want to know about the music. Do you write it all?
Yeah, so I write everything myself, and then I recently started to like produce, so I'll be making my own beats and whatnot. So my third album, that's gonna be coming out soon, is gonna be all produced by me.
No way.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be your first?
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be like my first all produced by me, but
Because you've been doing music for a while.
Oh, actually, no, I just started recently. So, like, I just started, like, 6 months ago. Blue found me in a trash can. No, I'm just kidding. But he found me, like, out of nowhere. I came in. I did a couple sessions.
Girl, you knew you could sing, though.
No, not really, bro. All my life, people have told me, like, I couldn't really sing. So, but when I went in there, my intent was to make music for my core. For when I just be sitting on my core, driving by myself, you know what I mean? So I'd be slapping myself. But then Blue was telling me, he was like, I see something. And usually people don't really see nothing except my eyelashes. So it would really have meant something to me. So shout out Blue, shout out team, everybody. Yup, thanks for having me.
So it's cool now you're happier with the team?
Yeah, team's so much fun. They're like friends / brothers and sisters / my enemies / everything all in one.
They're enemies?
Nah, not enemies, but like in a fun play way. But yeah, they be like my big brothers. Like I'm the only girl there. So everybody like to pick on me and whatnot ever, but it's okay.
So what's something that you'd like to see in the near future happen?
Our music to start popping. So we're getting videos out. I got a video next week that I'm supposed to be doing. And then my boys just came out with a video, Bust It. It was Cash, Veli, all that, the Fly Guys just came out with a video. So I just want all of our music to pop. I just one person. It don't even matter who, you feel me? Because I'm gonna be sleeping on their couch when they get a little mansion, whatever. So just for one of us to pop, and then I'll be so happy.
I love that, girl. It's gonna happen.
Yep, I feel it.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. We're gonna stay tuned to you. Where do we follow you at?
Oh, Kiki the Brad. Kiki_DAH Brad. Yep.
Follow her.
Follow that. Thanks for having me. Hey guys, this is Michael Blueyez and Belly McFly on Choose.
Hey. Yeah, it's Belly McFly, bro. Yeah. Shut me on. Love. Baby said she wanna be my wife. She left red lipstick on my white tee. She on my show, front row like she Spike Lee. Sweat beads dripping all on her as she wipe me. Don't touch my cup, you don't know what's up in this soda. Sipping on this potion as I'm blowing on this Yoda. She let me drive alone, I hope the pigs don't pull me over. Get her to the crib, I stretch around like she do yoga. Damn. I just wanna hit my dance. I don't even like you rappers. Y'all be acting like some fans. Please get out my inbox with that spam. Baby tryna be my boo and you been tryna be her man. Sauce. I got the sauce like a spaghetti pot. Brett call me a simp. Yeah, he must be smoking Ready Rock. When my belly pop and we looking for a Betty Body. Ay, I'm out here looking for a Betty Body. Dang. Pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, or you can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude. I pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, or you can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude.
I ain't holding no grudges on the mess I was raised in. What you know about people going crazy? I'm talking drug problems, numbing up their brain stem. Then they pass it on, made the kids same as them. I know all about that monkey on the back, bitch. I had to let it go and wipe away the pain quick. I'm looking back on my past on a mindset, walking with a grudge in a world that wasn't mine yet. Angry or hurt, cause I lost all trust. Feeling better now, focus while I stomp on trust. Stressing on this real life, we're talking real right. Left that wreckage behind me, time to heal right. It was dad or end up killed in the field hype. These are the thoughts I kept in mind when I killed nights, waiting for the day I could parole and make this world mine. Rocking with Belly, loving life, this is Blueyez.
Pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, or you can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude. I pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, or you can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude. Pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, or you can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude. I pulled up to the scene with Michael Blue. Oh, baby said she wanna be my boo. Choose, bruise. You can kiss the bottom of my shoes. No, I'm not a nice guy, baby. I be acting rude.
Hi, my name is Kiki the Brat, and this is one of my new singles called Better Friend. Hope you enjoy. Better friend to me, better, better friend to me, a better friend to me, better, I gotta be a better friend to me, way more than friend to me. Your love is so good to me, I swear. Always waste my life on relations. That's why I get to grabbing medication. You say you don't want no complications, but you keep up on these lies. You keep me waiting. I believe in all your lies. You're just like Satan. Not because I'm dumb, but I just don't wanna cut off all our ties. But I gotta be a better friend to me. A better friend to me. Way more than frenemies. Your love is so good to me. I guess it's my fault, but just a little. I know you don't care, but keep you real close. And all you do is complicate things. You hurt me real bad and my heart is aching. You do the opposite of what you're saying. And you could never be real. And I ain't hating for real. But that's the main thing. I gotta be a better friend to me. A better friend to me. Way more than frenemies. Your love is so good to me. Better friend to me. Better friend to me, to me. That's my new single, Better Friend, on all platforms. Check it out. Better friend to me, better, better.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.
Hi, I'm Sparkle Sujin, and I am the host of the Everything Sparkle Show. I would like to invite you to come and hang out with me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, as I interview the world one guest at a time. Everything Sparkle is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and CMAC.tv. Plus, if you're in the Central California area, you can watch on Comcast Xfinity Channel 93 or AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Hope to see you there.